She is enchanting. She is sexy. She is jealous. She is the essence of evil. She is Christine, a 1958 Plymouth Fury. No one that knew her is alive to issue a warning. But the moment she seduces you into the driver's seat, she will own you, body, mind, and soul. There's no place you can go where she will not find you. No speed you can run that she cannot match. And she will never be stopped because you cannot kill what cannot possibly be alive. Christine, departing soon from Graveyard Carz. She could be closer than you think.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Buried deep in the Pacific Northwest, one team in Springfield, Oregon, takes on the impossible, finding dead Mopar muscle and bringing it back from the grave. Award-winning Master of Mopar, Mark Worman, his cousin Doug, his daughter Alyssa, his best friend Royal, his painter Will, his assembly tech Justin, and the rest of the GYC ghouls are restoring, resurrecting, and recreating some of the fastest, fiercest, and rarest muscle cars on the planet. This is Graveyard Carz.
Since Doug and his little team of ghouls are installing the rear axle assembly in our 1971 Roadrunner 446-barrel 4-speed car, I've still got the engine and transmission over here on the other side of the shop. I wanted to take a minute and show you at home, if you haven't been introduced to the pistol grip shifter, the Hurst competition box, and the linkage and how all that stuff works. I don't think we've ever dove into that before. So I wanted to take a minute and share that with everybody at home so you can see how it works and some of the intricate differences between the different models of car and what shifters they would have. If it had bucket seats in a 71 to 74 B body, they bolt the shifter on at this back mounting plate. That's because if you've sat in one of those cars, you realize how much further back the shifter is. Okay, if you go back actually a few seasons ago, we bought that 71 Super B up out of Boring, Oregon. That was a 383 4-speed car. It was a bench seat. When you have a bench seat, the shifter has to be further forward than it is with bucket seats. So this shifter mounting position, this would be utilized on a 71 to 74 B body with a bench seat. Kind of interesting. The other car that it would be bolted right here to is a 70 B body. Whether it was buckets or whether it was a bench, it would bolt on right there. Pistol grip shifter, they had several different ones. You had your 70 to 74 E body, which is this sweet little short one right here. You had the 71 to 74 B body bench seat style that we talked about where the shifter would mount up here. That shifter bows back a little bit to get to the driver, but because it's a bench seat, you couldn't put the shifter in the middle. Then you have your famous, world famous, 1970 B body shifter with and without console. That's the one that came all the way up, seemed to be 10 feet long. In reality, it's not if you look at one, but when you're in a car, it feels like it is. But in this particular case, it's a 71 B body with bucket seats, so it gets this shifter mounting position, these rods, these levers, which are exactly the same as the 70 to 74 CUDA, regardless of what engine it is, as long as it had a 4-speed. How the system works is you look at your lever up here at the top, you see reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a shift pattern. It's very natural. You still see it on today's cars. The amount of slack and slop that you see right here is because we're able to go into neutral. When that's in the neutral position, those front rods are in the neutral position. That's when your engine's idling, this thing's shaking like that, and the engine idling all tough. Forward and backwards in the middle of the neutral gate, which I would suggest is right there. If you go forward, it's going to give you first gear, and if you come backwards, it's going to give you second. We're going to go to what I believe is first gear, and what you'll see happen is this rod here is going to pull back. This is your 1-2 shift rod, this is your 3-4. So both 1 and 2 work off of this rod. So when you see me click into first gear, this rod comes back, it's now engaged in first gear, or low hole we used to call it. Second gear, we're gonna come straight back. There's the motion. Go up, click over to the right and up. Third, back is fourth. So working through the gears like you would if you were driving the car. First gear, a little bit of tension to the left while you pull second gear. This rod goes forward, second gear internally is now engaged. You come back up, let off of that pressure and go straight ahead. That's your third gear. When you go into fourth gear, that is your 1-to-1, your high gear, your tallest gear you've got. Back into neutral. Watch what happens when I go all the way over to the left. See that slap on there? You have to give that a little slap and then up. It engages the reverse rod. That pulls this lever back and it puts it into the reverse. That's when your dash light that says reverse pops on and your backup lights back in your bumper or the rear body panel or wherever they're at would pop on. So there you go, the 1, 2, 3, 4s, if you will, of shifting a 4-speed transmission. Now when the Trey was doing it back in the day, I went through the gears fast, so fast that people didn't even know what I was doing. They couldn't even see it, right? So if you were actually looking at this pattern right here and you see Mark, that's how fast it was. You saw a little flash. Down. And then you'd hear my voice just taper off into the distance. That's because I rode through all 4 right there. When Tony was out here recently, we had an opportunity, which we don't always have, to go over some of the newbie cars that are down at our storage lot. And I always look forward to that because as much as I brag about knowing everything in the world, Tony never leaves here after us looking at a car where I haven't learned something new.
One of the coolest things about coming out to Graveyard Cars is just to see the wealth of cars here. It's always changing, always new stuff coming in, always pretty cars done or almost done in the shop. The car we looked at was the '69 Hemi Charger, and that's a cool car. Really good example of a car. It's very complete, very original, runs and drives even. Yeah, it needs some restoration work, but it's a good car.
Original tag, right?
Yep, original tag. You can tell it's St. Louis just from the inspection stamps. They're on them pretty high.
Now, in this particular case, I actually had Doug along with me because I thought this would be a great opportunity for him to learn a few things that maybe he didn't know. And the nice thing about the St. Louis is they actually have some information on them, unlike the Lynch Road ones.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Now, there's no question that Mark and Tony are the sharpest guys on the planet when it comes to these cars. It's hard to trip either one of them up, unless, of course, they're together and trying to one-up each other.
Before we went on, you were mentioning something about the brake booster.
I wanted to mention anything about the brake booster. I told you it wasn't right on the car, and you thought it was.
Well, you asked me if it
and
was.
I said there's no B51 on the fender tag.
No.
Between you and me, I love it when Tony comes in and battles it out with Mark. He's the only guy that can get away with it. Usually Mark is beating us up.
Am I remembering this all wrong?
Yeah.
It was only 10 minutes ago. What happened?
You're getting old.
God, here we go.
Before we started filming, Mark and I were looking at the car a little bit, and it has a drum brake booster on it. And this is, we're talking about on a Hemi car, and it didn't have the offset bracket on it to move it away from the valve cover. And Mark was inquisitive, wondering if that was correct for the car or not. And it's like, man, I said, you should know that by now.
That's not what happened at all. I said to him, hey, would this car have a relocation bracket for the power brake booster if it was so equipped? That's when he cut me off. So he wouldn't even let me finish because that's that craziness in his head. He wants to say something, and he's gonna be damn the torpedoes. I don't care what you gotta say. That's why he jumped in and mauled all over the top of me.
I believe you asked if it was relocated on these cars.
I said, yeah, I did. I said, on a B body, does it have the same relocation? Should it have the same relocation bracket as an E body?
Right.
You're an idiot. It's not a power brake car. Somebody added this. There. And that's where I got left. What if this was a scenario, and you see them all the time, where a bomb is gonna go off? Maybe it's Die Hard 3, remember? Hans's brother, and he wants to blow up the school and kill all them kids? What if it was you had to listen, red wire, green wire, and he's not listening because he already either knows the answer or doesn't care what the guy has to say? I'll tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna blow a school up full of kids, okay? That's what's gonna happen if you don't listen.
Chrysler Plymouth sports specialty car, the 1971 Barracuda, has a new front end, which features dual headlamps, louvers in the front fenders, and the side trim highlight body styling changes. Rear styling has changed too, with new tail lamps and backup lights integrated in the lower rear deck panel. This CUDA 340 model is one of 6 Barracudas available for 1971, including a sports coupe, hardtop, and convertible.
What else do you see interesting on the fender tag? Anything good? Man, no, it's pretty straightforward. I think it's kind of unique that it's a B3.
Yeah, that's different.
You know,
different.
a lot
It's nice
of them are
color.
B5.
You know, it's nice color.
What color interior is it supposed to have? Whatever the
And it
color.
shows B7 as probably the upper door frame
Upper
code.
door frame. So that would be the
upper door pads
There
from
you
the
go.
Charger.
Now this Charger is really going to be a striking car because it's a B3. That's the lighter blue over a B7 blue interior, much darker.
The B3 is a pretty color, especially with the white top and the white RT stripe on the back.
Are those the correct carburetors? This is right up your alley.
It should be
I actually don't know them.
4619 and 4620, and I haven't looked at them.
Like I said, Tony's the only one that can take on Mark when it comes to knowledge about these cars. Just rattle off the carburetor numbers without looking at a book. It's amazing.
Does Mark have to look in the book before he goes on set?
No comment, Peter.
What else you got?
N85,
What's that mean?
TAC.
7,000 RPM?
I don't even know where it ends.
You know?
I don't know.
Well, no, but I mean, you know how many RPMs it goes up to the max, right?
No, I don't know what
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
it's 8. It's 8,000
it's 8,
on that.
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. Oh, snap! The Mighty Tone doesn't know if it's a 7 or 8 grand TAC. Come on, man. That's Mopar's 101. Might get back in the book again there, Philly. Have a Coke, a smile, and a sandwich, and shut the up.
Somebody made an electric choke. I see that from here, but it does have the dash pod on it. See that? Only 4-speed cars had that.
Yeah. So does that share with any other carburetors, the dash pod?
The dash pod is the same, but the bracket's specific to Hemi.
Okay.
And
But that's the
it's
same one
also-
you see on a 3-4-speed
Yep.
car. Gotcha.
And you know what this also should have? I can't see it from here, but I'm going to guess. I think I see the vacuum line for it. That green emissions distributor valve thing.
Yeah. This is really crazy. So I've been studying some of the older Master Tech videos that are online from back in the 40s, the 50s, 60s, 70s from Chrysler. I just watched a video on that. It's part of a cleaner emission system or something they called it. It's really a neat little part.
Also with a cleaner air system. The distributor vacuum advance control valve isn't used on automatic transmission cars, except for the 426 Hemi models. Because manual transmission cars have different operating characteristics, they need vacuum control valves to keep exhaust emission within legal limits.
You know, when you're talking about a car like this in today's market, a true blue chip investment grade Hemi car with good colors and a 4-speed, I mean, I could easily see it being worth $250,000. As crazy as that sounds. Most people at home would say we're lying, but
It's
watch
crazy.
Jackson, watch Meekum, they're just nuts.
If you were looking at the side of the car, obviously it has the rally wheels didn't come out till the next year, but is there anything looking at the side of the car without looking at the interior that would lead you to believe when it was built in the model year?
Let's see. Watch the psychopathy here. I've been watching that series on Investigation Discovery about this. Look at him. That's that sociopath stuff, man. That's sick. You mean besides like where the Hemi badge is on the door and stuff like that?
Looking at the car from our vantage point right now, not including the interior.
And already
with
knowing
the
it's a
seats without the
69
headrest.
for hell's sake.
Right.
Sure.
Is there anything indicating to you if it's an early or late build car?
Okay. Well,
Well,
outside of the car. Outside of the car.
It's only an hour-long show, so look, I'll just tell you. It has the black button on the door handle.
Could also have been replaced.
On both sides. And why would they?
These are classic gestures. See the hand going on me? Like, oh, it's okay, Mark, you made a mistake. Like you would an old person that crapped their pants or something, right? It's okay, we all crap our pants, all right? In this particular case, I didn't just poop myself, okay? I didn't say or do anything wrong. That is psychopathy. That is psycho. A little while ago, I called him on something, And he says, oh yeah, I could see the factory making that mistake. Anytime I say the factory made a mistake or somebody's changed it, he just goes to some kind of crazy East Coast logic.
Mark's always calling me some lunatic from the East Coast. Just, that's the way things are on the East Coast. Mark's never been to the East Coast. He only watches TV and he talks to the people and he just makes these assumptions.
See here? Deflection. I'm the victim. This person led me on, so I had to bash their head in with a piece of wood. Both handles? Yeah, well, the whole car was painted. Maybe they took the handles off. Is there any undermasking or overmasking on the handles?
You're the paint guy.
There's no paint on those. Those things were taken off. This whole thing about the knobs trying to catch me like some great big whodunit because it's a black knob versus a chrome one because of the year splits in it. Anybody could have changed the handles. All right, the car's been painted, so it's been disassembled. Maybe somebody preferred the black knob or the chrome knob. You can't hang your hat on that. That's not a DNA. So at some time, somebody maybe said, I prefer the black knobs.
Moving on. Mark jumps on everybody for anything. Even if it's not there, he'll jump on them for it.
Oh, and there it is, victim, right? He's the victim here, all right? Killed a bunch of people. All right, well, in this case, obviously he hasn't killed anybody. But blame the person for your mistake. That's psychopathical behavior from a man who really may very well either need a psychiatrist, psychologist, or perhaps a priest.
The all-new, restyled 1971 Cuda has more options than ever before. Now equipped with powerful road lamps, both smart-looking and a necessity on rallies. And new stamped steel road wheels with the popular raised white letter tires. Smart. The slapstick T-handle with torque flight floor mounted in the console delivers. You can slam through gears thanks to a built-in shift gate, or let the transmission shift automatically. The best of both worlds.
It's real similar to the 70 butt, right? Real similar.
Yeah,
but
same taillight design and body. The metal's the same.
For sure, it's the
Right,
same
the metal
panel.
panel's the same.
Now this I know about. So the 69 and 70 Charger at a glance are identical. It wasn't until you stop and focus till you see the difference. In 1969, the taillight has a chrome bezel around the outer edge. In 1970, they lost the chrome bezel and went to a finished rear panel to dress up the back.
You know, overall, it's a very original car. It has a few things done. You know, the steering wheel, back in the day stuff. Pointed out it didn't have, it has headers on it, but the manifolds are with the car. The guy has, the owner has the right air cleaner.
Kept all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Not collective, it kept it.
And he's owned this a long time, you said, right?
This guy has owned the car for a long, long time. Now, I forget if he said he bought it new. I don't think that he did. But he has owned it for decades and decades. So anything he did take off the car, he kept the original stuff. He made it the way he wanted it second day, but he kept the original stuff.
You know, when looking in the car, you know, the seats are worn, it has speakers cut into the door panels, but some of the stuff is really nice. The upper dash pad's in good shape. The lower dash pads, which are impossible to find, are really good. But overall, the car is a really good stand-up car, has so many pluses going for it. I mean, it's a Hemi car, matching numbers, 69 Charger, 4-speed. I mean, it doesn't get too much better than that.
In 1970, Plymouth built 1,788 340 Cudas. Very few of those featured a rubber front bumper, luggage rack, power windows, and a hockey stick stripe. This is one of those cars. It also happens to be the topic of this week's autopsy report. Okay, so remember folks, we read a fender tag left to right, bottom to top. E55, that means high performance 340 V8 that puts out 275 horsepower. D32 means heavy duty 3-speed automatic transmission. BS23, the B means Barracuda, the S means special price class, and the 23 means 2-door hardtop. H0B. The H represents the engine size, which in this case it's a 340. The 0 represents the model year of the car, which is 1970. and the B represents the assembly plant, which is Hamtramck, Michigan. 184268 is the serial number, which is unique to this car. EB5. This is the sales code for the body color of this car, which means blue fire metallic. H6B5, which means all vinyl bucket seats in blue. 000, one-piece full interior door panel. B07, that's the scheduled production date, which was November 7th, 1969. 021548. That's the shipping order number. V1X, that's the black vinyl top. A01 is the light group. A21 is the elastomeric front bumper. B51 is power disc brakes. C16 is a center console. C55 is bucket seats. G36 is left and right outside racing mirrors that are painted. H51 is air conditioning. J45 is hood pin tie downs. L31, fender mounted turn signal indicators. M21 is drip rail moldings. M25 is body sill moldings. M31 is belt moldings. M88 is deck molding treatment. M91 is luggage rack. N41 is dual exhaust. N42 is bright exhaust tips. P31 is power windows. R35 is AM/FM stereo. V6X is a hockey stick stripe. Y05 means it was built to US specifications. EN1, that's the end of this sales code and the end of this week's autopsy report.
How much did you remember? Here's a multiple choice trivia. What is the name of the T-handle attached to the TorqueFlite automatic transmission in the 1971 Cuda? Is it speed shifter, speed gate, or slapstick? Think you know the answer? Find out if you're correct right after the break. Well, how did you do? What is the name of the T-handle attached to the TorqueFlite automatic transmission in the 1971 Cuda? If you guessed speed shifter or speed gate, then you are an idiot and absolutely terrible at trivia. But if you guessed slapstick, you are right and not an idiot. The slapstick offers extra optimal performance, allowing you to slam through the gears. This optional wheel has the performance, look, and a rim blow horn that offers convenience with safety. Another convenience option, the handsome luggage rack for travelers, skiers, and those wanting to add a little of themselves to their Barracuda. And with any of Barracuda's radios, there's the cassette stereo tape player with dozens of uses besides playing your favorite music. Like the cassette recorder, that's an exclusive option for 1971.
I'm working with Alyssa and Hunter today on installing the drivetrain in the 1971 Roadrunner 440 6-barrel 4-speed car. Are we ready?
Yeah. Ready.
I'm not.
So I'm so excited to get back into the shop. I haven't been doing anything like hands-on in the shop for a while, so this is super exciting.
Okay, so we are going to install the fronts of those spring hangers through the holes, and we're gonna put the nuts on the back side.
Dougie is a great teacher. He's always so patient and kind. I mean, he never insults me, so I always have a great time working with him. And I've never worked with Hunter before.
Hunter, you want to check and see if you can get a nut started on yours while I feed it in here?
Yeah, sure.
Put one on the top.
One on the top?
If you can, so it doesn't come back out. Because I'm gonna have to help you feed that one through.
So this is the first time I've actually worked with Doug and Alyssa on assembling a car. I'm really looking forward to continuing my education on all the cars. It's super cool. All right, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I got the top ones already in place. Do you want me
They
to
are?
put a nut on it? Yeah. The
Okay,
bottom
let's
ones.
try to get the bottoms in.
Okay.
I like it when I can take my time with the newbies and show them the right way and help build their confidence.
Well, Mark does that too, doesn't he?
No comment. Nice work, guys.
That was easy.
Yeah, you're a pro. Right, Alyssa?
Yeah, we've done this 1,000 times.
We have?
Yes.
Oh, it still seems like the first time. Well, you know, I'm retiring. I'm almost done here.
Not if my dad has anything to say about it.
Oh, I have
Where
to
are
work when I'm dead?
Yeah.
You have
We'll bury you right out back.
How's
Okay.
it going?
I'm fine.
Good, everything going good?
What are you doing?
This is a new tray cam.
You putting the back on?
Okay, but why is
like
it so
unscrew
close
this?
to my face, though?
Recently, I was thinking about how can I give a better experience to the viewer at home for Graveyard Cars, and it hit me. They need to see more behind the scenes. They need to see what I see from that POV, point of view, right? So I invented the tray cam.
See, originally I thought it was a good idea until he actually started doing it.
I get
You
a
can't
picture.
see. Oh my God,
No,
it's
it's behind the
horrible.
scenes.
No, we got like 6 chins. Let's not do that.
Dougie, how's everything going so far?
Stop it! Ice tray, ice pick, ice cube. You stop that, buddy.
Sorry.
You're crazy.
How you doing, Bubba boy?
Doing pretty good. You know.
Yeah?
Yeah, these are tight, but it's good.
You think the camera's a little close?
Just a little
Why
bit.
are your eyes shut?
But I mean, like, I don't understand the tray cam at all. It's so freaking close, the dude can literally see my feelings. Plus, I look stupid in the thing.
That's Tiny Dancer right there. Yeah. Hi, Tiny.
What's up, Mark?
Okay.
Not much. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You feeling that?
I'm a little busy.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
If I did the math right, I think Mark and I have been working together for 15 years now, and it's almost 200 episodes of Graveyard Cars, so I've seen everything. You know, the dancing, the name calling, the weird labels, just the things that he thinks are really strange, innovative ideas that aren't. And I gotta say, I didn't see this coming.
There's Crazy Pete.
I don't need to tell you anything.
Hey, buddy. There's Crazy Pete.
Hold this.
It's not that the tray cam's a bad idea necessarily, it's just the way that he's doing it. I mean, he says it's for an interview or something, but he's putting this camera like uncomfortably close to people's faces. It's not flattering at all. When we first started, he would get mad if we did an interview with him and like fish-eyed his face with too wide of a lens. Like, he would get angry at us. Like, why are you shooting me with that? Like, go shoot me with a longer, you know. He wanted himself to look nice and compressed. And then now he's taking this thing and he's just the most unflattering shot in the world.
You guys used to do?
Alyssa,
What?
my question is, how is this going so far on the build?
It'd be great. It'd be great if you weren't doing this.
You don't like the tray cam?
No, Dad.
Why? Is it too close?
It's insane.
He's not actually interviewing them, he's torturing them.
Look, I'll tell you right now, something's gonna happen to that tray cam. It's gonna get lost, broken. I'm just saying, something on accident is gonna happen. This is why it takes 6 years to restore a car at Graveyard Cars.
Doug, is that true?
You could be helping
That's
us. You could be helping us.
He is helping.
Doug, whose side are you on?
My side.
Oh my gosh. Okay, are we ready?
Okay. So the front's in place.
Correct.
Now we have to lower the car down.
Okay.
This should be interesting.
A name's not enough. Let's stack the dung stain up against the new 1971 Barracuda and see what Ford has done. The 71 Cuda offers a grille color keyed to any of 9 body paints. All Barracuda models have optional elastomeric bumpers to match any of 6 paints up front and any of 4 in the rear. Dungstain's best is a plain hamburger black grille and rubber front bumper that you will need when the tiny brakes fail. All 71 Barracuda models have torsion bar front springs and rugged 5-leaf rear springs. Heavy-duty and extra heavy-duty suspensions are standard with Cuda and Hemi Cuda models. All Dungstains come with coil springs in the front and 4 leaf springs at the rear. Coils, by their very design, have less springing action than Cuda's torsion bars. The car wallows around in the turns like a boat.
They don't even have grease in them. It's tight.
Okay, Mark, the car has to go down another foot.
Do you have a napkin in
Well, I'm not working with you.
She needs some towels.
You better have Bubba Boy.
Oh, it's not low enough. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna get this thing out of here.
Yeah, it's tight.
See, look, we sign up for it as talent on the show. So we actually get paid to endure my dad's like craziness. But the poor camera guys, they're hourly. They're there no matter what. They did not sign up for this. I feel so bad for them.
Remember that time you stabbed me in the back?
I didn't stab you in the back. I did my
That's the
job.
question.
You let the guy come down and you weren't supposed to, were you?
You weren't around.
Hey, but you know we were planning a big reveal.
You are up my face.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't work.
No? Okay. Well, I think the original one we did, guys.
Everything going good, Doug?
Yeah, everything's going good, Doug.
Pay attention to what you're doing. Pretend the camera's not there. There.
Yeah, pretend that's not there.
So in the future, when you see other shows using the tray cam, they'll rename it something else. You just remember that the tray cam came from me, okay? So in fact, I keep it here all the time. All right, so there it is. So now you guys can see at home what it's like when you're sitting on set and you're doing lit interviews. The whole shop shut down, okay? There's a technician back there working in the corner. A little one over there, Hoggins over there. Carz, that kind of thing. There's Pete, Judas Iscariot, little tiny A. This is what you get to see. What?
Going down? Ready, Alyssa?
Yeah.
Tell me when.
Good.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
It went down fast. You want to raise up a little, Alyssa? Or
You want it up a little bit?
Probably, yeah, because
All right.
it's...
About 2 inches.
Okay.
Should I put the nut on the backside of the... Not yet, huh?
Good.
Well,
Let me help you.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. That one's through.
okay.
Good job.
Well, despite Mark's new tray cam, we were able to get the rear axle installed in this car. So now we can move on to the front engine install and get this thing finished. Thank goodness.
The thing to really be mindful of if you're doing one of these cars is, can I do it any better than the manufacturer did it? And that's just why I wanted to show you this, how we do it when we're replacing panels. So on our 69 Charger RT SE, this factory sunroof car, moving through the shop nicely, had a lot of metal work done to it, still has some to go. I want to take an opportunity to show you what we're doing differently at this stage in the way of inner structure painting and preparation and protection than the factory ever did. This is really interesting stuff. See all this light gray paint? This is a catalyzed urethane paint over the top of the DP90, which is your etch primer that we use from PPG that locks down over the bare metal. But the point is, it's all covered thoroughly while we can get to it. We can get the sides of the trunk floor extensions. On the inside of the wheelhouse, around all the jack bases, everything is there.
So the big difference in what we do and what factory does, factory, there was a lot of bare metal left underneath the Dutchman. So if you were to crawl inside the trunk and look at an original car, you'll see where there's still bare metal and the cars just rust out super fast. So what we do is when the metal guys have these cars apart, I'm painting the back sides of things, painting as much as I can, so when the car goes together, it's already completely sealed off and covered 10 times better than factory.
You have paint everywhere. Wheelhouse, outer wheelhouse, all the way up into here. You have it on the reinforcement inside the Dutchman panel.
It's not even a sealer, it's actually a single stage where I added black, white, a little yellow, and a little green. We have a lot of original cars here. Some of the sealer was dark, some of it was light, so I kind of just custom built the color and kind of split the difference and then documented the formula. So moving forward, I can just bring it up on my computer and every car gets that color.
Now, something really cool here. This wheelhouse, outer wheelhouse, is original to the car. The other one has been replaced. The inner wheelhouse on both sides is original. This is the hole that I told you about where they take the drain tubes for the sunroof that run down through here. You can see where they've hacked this open to make that hose come up through here, down here, and into here. To make that hole, remember the quarter panel was on the car, so they couldn't do it from this direction out. They went inside the wheelhouse, boom, beat the hell out of that thing with a chisel. That is an original hole. Let me show you the detail we go to. This wheelhouse has been replaced. It's a brand new AMD outer wheelhouse. See that hole? Tell me that hole isn't a factory hole. My man Josh did that. He took the big old chisel, punched up through that thing. See my little finger? Can you see it? And duplicated the same butchery that was done at American Sunroof Company when they did that. You can see the evidence, though, from the factory. Look at this. That's where they cold chiseled this, rolled it up out of the way so they could get between the skin and the roof the drain tube to come down here and out through there. Somebody looks at this car 10 years from now, and they say, oh, it's had a wheelhouse put on it. Look at that hole, it's too nice. No, that hole ain't too nice. That hole matches that hole. That's the detail.
The 1971 Cuda is stacking up fairly well against the Dungstain so far. Let's take a look at the engines and see how they compare. Barracuda offers 5 regular fuel engines, from the super economical 198 all the way up to the 383 4-barrel. Dungstain offers only 3, all of which are tiny little things that don't produce power. That's sick, dude. And Dungstain's heater control panel forces you to take your eyes off the road, as it's located in the center dash under the radio. I don't think I should have to die just because I want to stay warm. Barracuda puts these controls right in front of the driver. Barracuda's advantages over the Dungstain continue, with 52% more brake lining area for better braking and longer lining life. More functioning instrument panels that give the driver more information without taking his eyes off the road. Full body side protection with moldings that run the entire length of the car. More practical, optional transmissions that keep you in the proper gear.
So once I had all the paint work done, I was able to cut Josh loose on dissecting the donor roof and the sunroof module off the original roof.
Hey, Will, you think I could get your help lifting this off?
Of course you can, friend.
Right on. So I just gotta pry up on the back and we'll be able to hopefully lift it right on up.
So what kind of happened was Mark gave you a harsh deadline. You need me to come in and save the day. No problem. I'm a team builder. I'm a leader.
Yeah,
I like to help you guys out, lift you up a little bit. You need some help getting the car built, I'm here to help you.
Yeah, I just mostly need help lifting the skin off.
And then I'll go over there and help get it put on for you.
Okay. Sounds good.
So being a team leader here, it's very important to make sure I'm available to all the guys. That roof skin just came off with ease.
So the trick to taking the roof off is to make sure you have every single spot weld broken loose before trying to lift it off. Once you figure that out and map out all your welds and how you're breaking them loose, it'll come right off. I know it looks pretty easy at this point because the cameras are only catching a little bit of it. And this roof had close to 100 welds that I had to carefully drill or grind and make sure I didn't damage anything I'm trying to save.
We have the best techs in the world, so we can do jobs like this and you'll never know that we were there.
With the roof skin now removed, we can do all the paint and jam work that we have to the bottom side of that, prep out the rest of the inner structure, and get ready to marry that together with the original inner structure.
Let's see how much you've learned. True or false? The largest engine you could get in the standard 1971 Barracuda is a 383. Do you think you know the answer? Stay tuned after a word from our sponsors to see if you're correct. Well, how did you do? True or false? The largest engine you could get in the standard 1971 Barracuda is a 383. If you guessed true, then you have been paying attention. The 383 puts out 330 horsepower, which is much better than a Dungstain. If you really want to chew up a dead horse, option a Cuda with a Hemi. You'll yourself. In addition, the horse droppings Mustang front seatback release is way down at the lower center of the seatback. Passengers find it troublesome to get in, and it's embarrassing for an owner to be kidded about such an awkward feature on his new car. The 71 Barracuda's bucket or bucket back bench seat releases at the touch of your toe. It releases on the outer edge, easy to see and operate. Wouldn't you rather make it this simple for your friends? You don't want to trap passengers in your back seat, but if you do, Dodge makes excellent cargo vans. The Dungstain is made of recycled beer cans and dents very easily where full-length side moldings don't exist. Come on, man. That's not groovy. Full-length side moldings are a Barracuda option. And on this day, in 1978, Jerry Crandall took a dump on the roof of a Mustang, just like this one.
Okay, here we go.
Moving quick.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Slow down a little,
Yeah, it seems like it's really far over to the right.
One of the cars that I am the very most excited about seeing finished up very soon is the 71 Roadrunner. The only time we've ever had a car come here along with 8mm tapes of back when it was raced at the drag strip. I mean, what a family heritage this car has to offer. What we're doing is giving that car a new lease on life, which is going to begin creating a world of new memories once it goes home.
Beautiful. My front bolt is lined up dead on.
Yep.
You just want the short one or the long one, or that work? To run it in, and then we can tighten it down later.
Putting these cars together when everything is fresh does require focus and attention. Hunter has been disassembling these cars, so that takes much less time and caution than putting these together. So yeah, it's great to be left alone so we can focus.
How's everything going?
That's great.
Getting the front end in?
Not that again.
Why?
Okay, remember,
Why?
life ain't all sunshine and rainbows, all right, as Rocky Balboa said to his kid. I am just tempering these ghouls to be able to fly ice cold like the tray does.
Here's this, Lisa.
Let's see what you're doing up here. That's what people want to see. Look at that. Nice shot. Nice shot. How we doing?
Doing good.
You got a camera in your face, you got to forget that camera's there. You got to carry on. It doesn't matter what you see in that camera or what you think people are going to see at home. People want to see that duck going across that water fast, Mach 2 with his beak on fire. But that head real smooth. Now his little feet is doing this under the water, but on the top, it's just a swan.
Do you have the tool?
Don't you do it.
The which tool?
I think the tray cam is working really well. I think everybody's a big fan of it. Gives you guys at home a chance to see what's going on behind the scenes.
I hate the tray cam.
Seriously.
Yeah, I hate that damn thing.
I freaking hate it.
You know, at the end of the day, torture, name calling, bizarre camera things, you know, if it's good for ratings, it's good for me.
Everything looks clear. We didn't
You
zip
actually-
or tear anything off.
You want it like raised up? Or?
Yep.
Got that old man strength, Doug. Yeah, that's great.
Thanks.
You let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right.
Here, come through this.
Like there.
Yeah.
All right.
We did it. So at the end of the day, I am very proud of Alyssa and Hunter. They did a great job installing the drivetrain in the Roadrunner. For the record, they had it much worse than I did with the tray cam. Once Mark discovered that it made everyone uncomfortable, he doubled down. Nobody was above his insanity.
Look at Kenny G. Look, Kenny. Where are you going?
Well, I got something in my face. I got something in my face.
What do you do? Play something for me.
I don't got nothing.
I'll stop.
Genius.
This episode is brought to you in part by the all-new Tray-O-Vision camera. Order yours today.
All right, enough of this. We're done with this. Is this a stupid little camera? Is this how you turn this thing on? Is that on? Is this what you want, Dad? Is this it? This is what you want, okay? Get all of it right now, because you're done with this after today. Okay?